Hi Scorpio, welcome to your mid-June 2017 General Tarot Update. It's Serena here. So I am going to be doing an update to my earlier general reading. But before I begin, I just wanted to remind you to look at the bigger picture. Don't worry too much about who's who and what's what. Just think about what themes come up. I think that's always the best thing to do, because I guess, I've been saying this in front of every video before yours, and I'm going to say it after. And the reason why I want to say this is that if you start focusing on the little details and saying, oh, well, do you think it's going to be this person and that person? What happens is then it becomes more about something outside of you rather than something that you can be a part of. In other words, you don't really have power whenever you're dependent on an outer event occurring. But anything that you can do to change the course of your life is going to be, to me, a better way to approach things than to worry about, okay, do you think this person's going to call me? And I'm not even just talking about love readings. I'm talking about any kind of situation, whether it's a work situation or not. It's ultimately not about other people and what they do. It's more about what you do. And so predictions have their place, because a lot of times when we feel lost and we can hold on to something, that's actually a very good thing when we can feel hopeful. And I definitely want you to feel hopeful, but I don't want you to feel complacent. And that's the challenge with these types of readings, okay? So, and then the other thing, which I get sometimes is, and people do it sometimes people do it very subtly, which I appreciate because they're trying to be polite. But they're like, how, why don't you shuffle in front of the camera, but I can't shuffle. This is how I shuffle. I go like this. And I'm not going to do that in front of the camera. First of all, because of the way my camera is set up. I'm kind of like, it's very awkward for me to do these readings to begin with because of how I have everything set up. But it does capture the audio very well. I don't use an external mic. I just use my camera's mic. And it's easy for me, based on what I have equipment-wise, for me to do it this way. But obviously, if I had an aerial view, you could see everything. I don't even know how people do that. I think they have some kind of an extension or something. But in any case, so I kind of do it behind the camera. I kind of shuffle in my own way. And then what I do on the side is I put different piles out here. And then I pick from the piles, like I'm going to do now. The general readings are a great way to see patterns, themes, and sometimes one thing comes out more than another, or some, particular focus. And so I always like to make note of that as well. Okay, so it seems like at the beginning I thought it could even be more of a professional situation, but yeah, it looks like a combination actually of both private life and professional life. Another thing with not focusing on the little details is the timeline, because especially with these updates, it's a bit silly. 2 weeks goes by in the flash of an eye. So don't think, okay, all these things are happening in 2 weeks. I know it's fun. We all like to suspend disbelief once in a while, but just look at the themes if they even are relevant in your life, and maybe you can get some kind of message from that. The overall theme or the focus in your life, the Four of Wands. For some people, this is a marriage situation. For others, it could be closing in on a new house. But it's a very positive card, you know, in the Rider-Waite deck with the Pamela Coleman illustration of the Four of Wands. They show people dancing, you know, showing that kind of happy home life. So this is, I'm not saying that everybody is in a state of bliss, domestic bliss or anything like that, because you may want this more than anything in your life, and you feel like it's what you don't have. So I'm not saying that this is what you have, but it's your focus regardless of whether or not you have it. Sometimes this can also involve a person of the fire signs. And I will say that it could be in Aries because you have the Emperor next to that, and the Emperor is connected to Aries. But the fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Leos and Scorpios seem to find each other too, because you're both fixed signs. And even though you clash and you form a square, the opposites tend to attract, don't they? So that is that's the overall theme, and that's a very positive card overall. In the past, another positive card, the Ace of Pentacles, new money coming in. And by the way, when we talk about past, this past could be future, you know, depending on, because I didn't record this at mid-month. I recorded this on June 6th. So this could be something that's hasn't even happened yet. But this could be a new job that leads you to be able to buy that new home. It could be money that comes out of nowhere that you weren't expecting. It could be if you were looking for a loan to come in, maybe to buy a house, that it comes in. And that is what you have been wanting, and so you get that. And that can also be in your business if you got a new job, and now you have this financial stability that allows you to do it. Alongside of this, we have the Emperor, which can indicate being in control of your life. The Emperor is number 4. 4 represents structure in numerology. So there's a sense of, what would I say, like stability and constancy. And you have it right next to that Four of Wands. So if it's in a relationship, it's a relationship that is very grounding, that you can build on, that is not something that you do not have, that you do not have faith in. This is something that you feel that you can invest in, invest time, invest energy into. And same with a home. This is a very interesting reading, okay? Because look at what the higher message is. And this is always when we get these curveballs thrown at us. The Eight of Swords. And this is a card, I mean, you can kind of tell what this stands for just by looking at the illustration of somebody who feels that their hands are tied, that they can't move. There's a sense of imprisonment, a sense of oppression. So in this type of scenario, you have all this good stuff, and yet you have that card as a spiritual message. What is that saying? What could be happening? Does that make sense to anybody? Well, to me it does, okay? And I'll tell you why. I have realized that when somebody has been struggling a lot and you have your dreams come true, that can be one of the most anxiety-producing, stressful, and even like, I don't know, something that really is upsetting. And I know that doesn't make sense or it sounds messed up, but I'm talking about people that have a history of failure, have a history of not finding people, the right person, okay? You have to learn how to receive good in your life. And a lot of people who watch these types of videos, or maybe other spiritual type self-help videos, they're in that process. We're on a continuum. And as we start to kind of raise our vibration and expand our consciousness and realize, and also self-love, you know, have more and more self-love, the law of attraction states that these things start to come towards us because we are more and more willing to receive them. But when you get what you want, if you've been dreaming since you were a child of getting your dream house and then it happens, it can feel very confusing and upsetting because it kind of makes a lie of everything that has come before, especially if you've thought bad things about yourself. So it's really about processing good things coming into your life, including people that are very good for you. If you have a tendency to attract negative relationships and you finally put your foot down and say, no, I'm not going to entertain these relationships anymore, and you attract a good partner, it can bring up a lot of fear within you because it's so unfamiliar to you. This feeling of somebody loving you for yourself, and you know, it can be very challenging. It's hard to understand that until it happens to you. So that, I think, is what I would go with this interpretation, is that you have to learn how to allow good things to come towards you without kind of pushing them away. Because there are people who will push away love from them because they can't trust. And they're afraid of that person. They're afraid of abandonment. And definitely, Scorpio, you can do this. So this is another reason why I don't care about predictions ultimately, even though I give them sometimes. Because until you have your head together, you will push away good from you. Okay? So this is an important thing to consider. Now, swords relate to thoughts. So this is about getting control, mastery over your thoughts. And, you know, look it up on YouTube, self-mastery of thoughts. See if there are videos. You know, feed your mind the way you feed your body. It's really wonderful to do that and to expand yourself that way. The card that crosses you is the Wheel of Fortune. And so, again, it's kind of going along with this. Do you allow good to come into your life? Now, you are going to have, the ruler of this card is Jupiter. You're going to have Jupiter come into your sign in October. Okay, so right now, Jupiter's in your 12th house. And maybe Jupiter in the 12th house is dredging up issues regarding this kind of thing, and it connecting to past lives. You know, maybe some people have a very fear-based mentality, a poverty consciousness that they need to get rid of. They need to stop allowing themselves to play small in life and not accepting good to come to them. When Jupiter comes into your sign, it's a time when you may attract a lot of things, and it will seem very lucky. The Wheel of Fortune is a card about luck. And right now, it may be challenging you being in the 12th house because it's not kind of, it's kind of like a hidden thing right now. It's not something that, it's an internalized influence rather than something that is coming from the outside. So it's really asking you to see how your spiritual beliefs are serving you. And if you're even on a spiritual path, if you even are getting into that. I feel that when October rolls around, I think it's like October 11th to be exact, but not 100% sure on that. This is a turning point for you. This is the start of a new 12-year cycle for you. And it's all about being in alignment and expanding your horizons in many different ways. So between now and then, when Jupiter's in your 12th house, really kind of examine how you allow your spiritual life to better yourself, because that can be very helpful. What is coming in or advice is connected to the Three of Cups. This is about socializing and taking comfort in your friends, your social network. It could be in terms of if you are feeling a sense of anxiety, they can be helpful to you. I feel like you have some really good things going on. Perhaps you have been working a lot. It's always possible, and you need to let your hair down. You need to be able to have time to have downtime. This also can be connected to, it's funny because I got the soulmate card as the outcome. So it could be that in this socializing, you meet the very person who is for you, is your better half. This is the soulmate card. Now, it could be another water sign like you, if not another Scorpio. I was going to say, God forbid. I don't know how many of you have ever been with somebody of your own sign. It seems like it would be quite an intense matchup. But you know, I won't say God forbid in case some of you that is your soulmate, another Scorpio, but it could be a Cancer or a Pisces individual. But this is like a relationship that is at the soul level, not just a physical attraction or a mental attraction, but the whole enchilada. And just feeling like you fit in very nicely with that person. All of this could be coming in. You may have a great, that's why I said at the beginning that it seemed to me this was a mixed type of a reading, that it covered your career and your domestic life as well. But it could be saying that perhaps you have been a little bit isolated, and you've been keeping yourself back because you've been having a hard time dealing with possible changes that have come up. And even if you've had some good fortune, the change may be upsetting you because you're a fixed sign, and even if you move into a new home and it's great, it can be still anxiety producing because it's a change. Even good change can be a stressor. So getting out and mingling could bring you the person who is right for you. And I know that some of you want that, and so I hope that you can achieve that. I know that you can. Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please visit me at rainandmoonastrology.com. I have a link below for that site. Otherwise, let's see what happens towards the end of June. Bye.